Alright, welcome back, SegWeather watchers, to another weather video looking at your forecast for your Tuesday, July 14th of 2026, where we're going to go ahead and delve into that. Starting off of our current radar, I can tell you have nothing going on the radar this morning, minus a couple showers and storms over portions of the Pacific Northwest, and some widespread showers and storms likely over Texas right now. Some rain ongoing as of 10:30 this morning, and even up to now, it's still ongoing in those areas. And as you zoom in closely to that, you can see heavy rainfall falling for you guys over southern parts of Texas into southwestern parts of Louisiana. So quite a wet morning for you guys. They'll continue into this afternoon with that rainfall. And so far, up to about 10 inches of rainfall have been observed over southeastern Texas, and even some of that over parts of western Texas as this rainfall is still ongoing, and even southwestern Louisiana. So not a good time for you guys, and unfortunately they'll continue over the next couple days, especially looking at our watches and warnings with this flood watch being in place for much of Texas at this time. That's going to be there for the next couple days. Same thing here in Nevada, a flood watch for you guys, and same thing up here in Montana of a flood watch. But outside of that, the heat will be ongoing from most of the northern tier of the country. Heat advisory for the Midwest and Northeast for today. Heat index values could exceed 100 degrees, and then extreme heat warning for the upper parts of the country as well. Heat index values can exceed 105 degrees in any area in extreme heat warning, with this pinks with the magenta over here indicating that, and then the lighter pink indicating a red flag warning for strong winds along that heat as we head throughout the day, which could fuel some wildfires as we head throughout the afternoon and evening here in Wyoming and even to parts of South Dakota. But outside of that, California also looking quite hot. Both heat advisory and excessive heat warnings in place at this time. But moving forward down the line, looking at high temperatures reaching the 90s to 100s, especially across the upper plains here and also across the southwest. You can see temperatures could reach 110, especially here in southwestern Arizona and southeastern parts of California, and even in central California too. So quite a hot day for you guys. In the Midwest too, also looking quite hot as that heat ridge does start to expand eastwards. Temperatures in the 90s for you guys. Michigan could even see high temperatures reaching the upper 90s later on today. And even Northeast, you guys will be baking with temperatures in the 90s, as all of this will be due to high pressure, which will be situated overhead for about the next couple of days. And as long as it's sitting there, it's going to be feeling hot and humid with that dry air coming down from the upper levels towards the surface, and that's just going to fuel that dry heat as we get throughout the day. It will still be humid, but overall, you're going to have that dry heat coming in. Outside of that, those storm chances right on the edge of that ridge, especially here in Deep South and then in the Rockies and up here in Maine, we're seeing that occur throughout your day today. And as we look towards the upper levels, especially with that heat, you can tell this is where you have like the hottest anomalies for that heat to occur. And notice as we head throughout the week, anywhere you see that dark red blob, you can tell that in the beginning it's there, even some purples, but it will start to weaken as the high pressure ridge does lose its steam. And over the next couple of days, by Thursday and Friday, it will diminish in size, and eventually, once that by Friday, that ridge will be breaking down, which will mean those storm chances will start to come back down to our south, and it'll become a little more unsettled, especially across the Midwest. But for now, looking quite nice for you guys, especially into the plains and the north and parts of Mid-Atlantic into parts of Northeast. But the upper Northeast, significant severe threat for severe weather later on today, which is quite rare. They have not seen this in the last couple years or so, as quite a rare event as compared to where you see in the Midwest, or let's say in Alabama, Mississippi. This for them is quite rare. So unfortunately, it's a significant severe threat for you guys, especially if you're in these areas. So watching out for that big threat very close this afternoon. Montana also a threat for a few strong storms too. Same thing in Florida. It's a small threat for strong storms later on today. But a bigger look at that threat, tornado risk looking quite significant, especially up here towards the northeast. Heightened threat for an EF2 tornado or greater, especially with this hatched risk being in place for these areas. And then same thing with our damaging wind threat looking quite significant for for the northeast, excuse me, as we're expecting those strong storms to be ongoing throughout the day today. Wind gusts could exceed 70 miles per hour or greater in those areas. Damaging wind threat also a possibility here in Montana, but not too bad of a threat. Looking at maybe like about 60 miles per hour with those storms, and then maybe a couple strong storms here in Florida again as well. And then the hail risk, not too significant here in Montana, but much more significant up here in Northeast for some few strong large hail events to occur, with baseball-sized hail being the main threat likely later on today. And now looking at the wide view for the radar as we head throughout the course of your afternoon into Wednesday morning, and see those showers and storms will be ongoing across much of the Rockies into deep south, but notice the northeast, that a line of storms coming through that area as we head, especially in this afternoon and this evening, looking at a significant severe weather setup for you guys, maybe a couple rounds of storms for you guys. But looking at that straight line wind threat, I would say to be the greatest threat. Tornadoes will also occur along that line as well. I'd say maybe even a couple cells that could develop outside of that could be possible as well. But a closer look at these storms, starting off in the Montana round, you can see those showers and storms will develop as we head into this afternoon, becoming quite stronger as we head into the evening. So a few supercells could be possible, which could produce that threat for some damaging wind events as we head throughout the course of your afternoon to your evening. But the northeast, again, quite significant for weather. One round followed by maybe perhaps another round later on this afternoon and into this evening, with damaging winds again being the main threat, large hail also being there, but the tornado risk also being quite significant as we head throughout your afternoon through tomorrow morning. And in the deep south, some ongoing garden variety showers and storms likely for you guys. And then Florida, just a small threat for a few strong storms, nothing too significant to write about, but still you may have a couple stronger wind gusts with some of these storms later on today. But that's pretty much it for today's update. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want more of this content. And we'll be back with another video tomorrow morning.